Big news out of Hollywood. Amazon has snagged creative control of the James Bond franchise. Why? After buying MGM for $8.5 billion back in 2022, they've now cut a deal with Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, half-siblings who have run the 007 show for decades. The Broccolis are stepping back, cashing out creative reins, and Amazon's stepping in. Fans, they're shaken, not stirred, and for good reason. For years, James Bond thrived under the Broccoli family, but now Amazon's in charge, and the reaction has been less than enthusiastic. You see, Amazon already dabbled in beloved franchises with The Rings of Power, a show that bravely asked, what if we took Tolkien's legendarium and made it extremely average? The result? Fans recoiled at Galadriel's transformation into a stoic action hero, the baffling Sauron romance subplot, and the sheer audacity of rewriting Tolkien with all the grace of an Oliphant laying siege to the walls of Minas Tirith. Naturally, this doesn't inspire confidence in their ability to handle Bond. Now, relations between the Broccoli siblings and Amazon haven't always been smooth. At one point, Barbara Broccoli did refer to Amazon execs as artistic geniuses. However, in a quaint old Hollywood colloquialism, the word she used for geniuses was idiots, and the word she used for artistic was fucking. So the transition is not necessarily off to the most auspicious start. However, regarding the deal more recently, Michael G. Wilson stated, quote, Barbara and I agree it is time for our trusted partner, Amazon MGM Studios, to lead James Bond into the future, unquote. What could possibly go wrong? But there's another angle to consider. James Bond is more than just a spy. He's a force. The rumor is, back in the 1960s, powers in the Western world wanted him to mold men, strong, suave, ready to take on the world, and so they pushed that message through his movies. True or not, he became just that, a cultural titan of manliness. That lasted for decades. Men aspired to be like him. Then came Daniel Craig, tough, yes, but vulnerable, weepy, ending his run in No Time to Die in a decidedly un-Bond fashion. Masculinity itself was being questioned, and with it, all its touchstones. So depending on which way the next iteration of James Bond goes, he could play a role in shaping the culture itself. And judging by the Rings of Power, that is not necessarily a positive prospect. But wait, there's a twist. Recently, Jeff Bezos has been cozying up to none other than Donald Trump. Yes, the same Jeff Bezos whose company has been synonymous with corporate wokeness and the Rings of Power. The same Jeff Bezos who once battled Trump relentlessly in the press has now befriended him and even donated a sizable sum of money to his inauguration. And even though Bezos doesn't run Amazon day to day, that job being taken over by Andy Jassy, he still owns about 10% of the company and remains its executive chairman, which means he still has considerable influence over its direction, particularly when it comes to big-ticket items like, say, a multi-billion-dollar film franchise. All of this is happening in a rapidly shifting cultural landscape. If you haven't noticed, Hollywood's favorite ideological bent is losing steam. Companies, including Amazon, are quietly abandoning DEI initiatives. Go woke, go broke is no longer just an internet slogan, and audiences are showing clear preferences for traditional storytelling. Which brings us back to Bond. If the culture is shifting, and Amazon, under Bezos' lingering influence, is shifting with it, could Bond make a return to form? Could he go back to being a symbol of unapologetic masculinity rather than a deconstruction of it? Could Amazon, against all odds, actually steer Bond back to what made him iconic in the first place? It's a long shot, but then again, Bond has always been good at those. What do you think? Is Amazon's takeover of Bond a Spectre-level catastrophe, or could there actually be hope for 007's future? Let me know in the comments.